All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Let me lower that music down. All right, so let's get to reviewing today's price action across the markets, but most importantly, let's talk about the swing trade idea from this week's report. So obviously we had bros, right? Dutch bros. And obviously today we had nearly, I think it was like an 80% up day for the entire New York Stock Exchange, which is amazing. And usually we don't tend to see that unless we continue to go up. So that's pretty good. Now here's the thing, right? That has allowed Dutch Bros to have a nice gap up as well. And now it was around a, let me see, I believe it was like a it was almost to 4%, yeah. So almost to 4.12% here in the open, which is amazing. And obviously we ended up continuously going up higher, and we closed at highs, which is also amazing because we ended up over 10% on the day. So bros, right? It's absolutely dominating. All right, that's the main topic of today's live stream, right? And the thumbnail says it as well, right? And so, hey Joe, what's up? He said, how about that Tesla trade, TSLL trade? Good stuff. Hope all's well. Yes. Thank you. So, bro, so what's the next steps here, right? Because it went past our entry point. But at the same time, if you decide to get an entry point right at open, which would have been great for a nice gap and go moment, we hit our first profit target of $68.50, and obviously we're heading towards that next major level of our target here at 72.50. So, with bros here, Dutch bros, they're continuously showing some great earnings results. They're showing consistency in growth, which is great to see. But there's one thing that I forgot to mention in last night's report. Dutch Bros has not given a full year guidance. So that's interesting to see because I don't know if this company, like with many other companies who are who have been very uneasy about providing any type of guidance for the next quarter or even a full year guidance, like Dutch Bros here. I don't know if they're doing that because they're uncertain about the future growth, which again is still very much a concern if you guys didn't know. Because again, right now the markets are not behaving in a way that it would be, moving along with or parallel with the overall economy. Because again, the markets have already pretty much priced in what could occur in the next couple of months in the future, and that's the reason why it's already moving to discount what could happen further into the future, right? And I know there are different opinions on this regarding the economy and the markets, and some people say the markets move, they lead the economy, or the fact that the markets and the economy move in parallel with each other. And there's a lot of different arguments out there, but again, I think it's a bit more of a situation perspective, or it's a bit circumstantial, where it depends on where you're looking at the markets and how the economy is at that current time, at that current point in time with the stock market. So for me right now, to me it just seems like the markets are recovering very well from the fact that it had already priced in the potential negative effects that we will get heading into Q3 and the rest of this fiscal year regarding the economy, which is the reason why we're recovering in the overall stock market. But this is where we're kind of seeing that divergence of the stock market and the economy, as I'm still going to expect the economy to be bad in the next couple of months. And I've already provided a plethora of information on that in the previous reports, so please go ahead and take a look at that in the reports from the last couple of weeks and into even the start of this year. Right, or even in the last year as well, from November to December. So with all that being said, okay, let's go back to bros here. So Dutch Bros has been seeing a lot of price targets from a lot of people out there who really absolutely want Dutch Bros to go to that number of 100, right? So if you go to the monthly time frame, okay, that's a huge gain if it's going to load here. Is it going to load? Been having a little bit of a problem with the Wi-Fi lately. So hopefully it comes back on here soon. Will it? Uh-oh. And I think we're back. Okay, good. So bros here, a lot of people are looking for that 100 target before the next quarterly earnings in August, right? So if we kind of go from the closing price of today, right, 69.86 or around there, okay, roughly around there, all the up into $100, right? That's an over 40% run. Okay, and hey, that could happen, right? I mean, who knows, right? That could happen. And Dutch Bros here is looking very good with a very nice rounding bottom that has formed so far since its IPO in 2021. And who knows, we very much might get this run up, this 40+% run towards that 100 number. And all of this is dependent on whether or not Dutch Bros will continue to have some stellar growth that we've been seeing since 2023, right? And not just in the share price, because the share price is expensive. Yes, we're paying pretty much of a premium here, and I explained why in last night's report as well. So please go ahead and take a look at the fundamental top-down research that I've done on Bros. A very, very good, easy to read research as well. So if anyone who is not part of the CFO Swinger Watch Report, and if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, make sure you guys head down below in the description box to subscribe to the report, and you guys can become an official reader of the CFO Swinger Watch Report, and that will simultaneously give you full access to the private CFO Discord, right? So Dutch Bros, from a technical perspective, I mean, why not? Why can't we go to 100, right? This is looking like a nice growth stock, and I gave you guys reasons for that as well in the report. So really go read the report if you guys haven't. I don't know why you haven't, because it came out yesterday, right? So for Dutch Bros, I really want you guys to read the report and also take a look at the daily and weekly time frames, because we have started a new uptrend, right? So the RSI is sitting at 66, and that's a very, very strong price action and price trend so far for Dutch Brothers, or Dutch Bro. I don't know why I keep on saying brothers, but it's kind of a automatic saying for me to just fully say brothers from Bros. But anyways, right? So at this point, if we are able to continue this new uptrend after this nice break higher, so we have a nice descending resistance trend line, this descending resistance trend line that we broke out of 3 weeks ago, or if you want to include this week, I guess you could say 4 weeks ago at this point with the 4 weekly candlesticks so far. But anyways, you guys get my gist, right? You guys get my, you guys get what I'm saying here. So, you know, as long as this continues, as long as we continue to stay over $65, which was supposed to be our entry point today, right? You know, I think we can get a continued run up, especially if we can handle staying over this next whole number level of $70, which again, after hours, we're holding very, very well. And even today's high of the day, which is at 70.00, right? So, you know, obviously the next major level of resistance and supply area is sitting at 72.50, and we need to consolidate very well around this this level, or at the very least, minimum, begin to consolidate tightly between 72.50 and 68.50, which we were able to break over, which again, that means we're starting to absorb the supply that is sitting around this range. So 68.50 to 72.50 is a very good supply area that buyers can immediately pivot into a new area of demand, which will allow some good consolidation to occur until we can find a nice tight consolidation right underneath 72.50 to provide that momentum, that energy to break over the 72.50. Now, with all that being said, right, that's good enough from a technical perspective, okay? How is Dutch Bros dominating, and how can it dominate Starbucks, right? Because Starbucks is still the dominating company regarding coffee and beverages, right? So, you know, Dutch Bros offers a wide variety of eclectic drinks, right? They they have alcohol just like Starbucks, which is not new, but they provide these kind of quote unquote very different and again eclectic drinks that people are wanting to experience compared to Starbucks, right? Because Starbucks, it seems like everyone has gotten used to Starbucks, right? They have very customizable drinks where you can customize any type of drink that you want just by ordering it, right? And letting the baristas know. But Dutch Bros has a very interesting, new and cool, I guess, drinks that people want to taste and try. And to me, it wasn't significantly different from Starbucks when I personally tried it, but I can see the appeal, right? The different colors that Dutch Bros has for the drinks, right? And all these different names and cool stuff that they have for the drinks. It's definitely appealing to someone who's trying to try out their new drinks, or people who are coming from Starbucks and wanting to try something else. So right now, I think Dutch Bros is trying to change that perspective of just customers out there or consumers trying to see, hey, I want to try Dutch Bros because I've already tried Starbucks, or I'm loyal to Starbucks, but I want to see something else that's out there. I want to try something else, right? And they're trying to change that mindset into, okay, I don't like Starbucks anymore, and I want to go into and be loyal to Dutch Bros coffee, right? And all their different beverages. So this is their main goal, right? They want to have that brand recognition and loyalty. So right now they had that brand recognition, which is slowly but spreading very vast, right, across the United States here, since they are already operating in 18 states. But then again, there are 50 states, right, in the United States of America. So they're slowly but surely getting that brand recognition, and they're already trying to move on from that brand recognition towards more of a brand loyalty, okay? And that's exactly where they should be at if they really want to grow as a company and at some point become a huge main competitor to Starbucks, okay? So I would say Dutch Bros is still maybe 3 to 5 years behind Starbucks. I know a lot of people view this as a growth stock, and they're probably saying that within a 3-year fiscal plan is when Dutch Bros will be able to become a main competitor to Starbucks. But hey, to me, I don't think that's gonna occur. I don't know, within 3 years, that seems a little bit too speculative, a bit too drastic to say that. I just think at least within the next 5 years is most likely going to be the more realistic timeline as far as fiscal plans for expansive growth and aggressive growth at that, right? At some point, I expect Dutch Bros to become a main competitor, nonetheless, right? So I don't think Starbucks is going to go anywhere, but they have been seeing some faltering customers who are not coming back. So that they're kind of losing their market share just a little bit to other chains, just like Dutch Bros, right? And again, Dutch Bros has a huge advantage to grow aggressively too, but then again, they had to be careful. I've given you guys kind of the reasons why with that potential aggressive growth, because again, there is some heavy weight that this company has that they need to take care of before they decide to have any plans for aggressive expansion. Okay, and again, I don't want them to be too naive with any type of growth when they have that financial weight that they're holding on to. So again, please read the report if you guys want to know what that financial weight is. All right, so from my perspective, overall, to keep it simple, I don't think Dutch Bros will be a main competitor within 3 years, within 3 fiscal years. I think it's going to take them at least 5 years, which is, again, it's kind of a conventional timeline to have for a growth company like this if they really want to take on the big chains out there like Starbucks. So again, Starbucks is not going to be dead even at that point, because again, they still have majority of the market share regarding coffees and coffee chains and beverages, right? And Starbucks is just going to be the pinnacle pillar, quite literally, of coffee, right, in the United States and internationally too. But hey, who knows? As competition continues to ramp up, even in China with their own Starbucks-like chains, Dutch Bros still can become a huge competitor in the US, right? So overall, I think from a technical perspective, this one has the grounds to try to reach that target of 100 if everyone is willing to bid it to that price. I wouldn't mind that. Hey, that's an over a 40% return from today's closing price, from let's say $70 as well. So, if I were to get in tomorrow, which I will closely watch, I would really hope that the technical analysis that I just provided for you guys pans out. I really hope that pans out, right? As long as the price continues to consolidate between $68.50 and $72.50, we can see some very good consolidation that will provide that next leg up higher towards the next major levels like 76 and eventually the all-time high price print of $86.88. And again, on that monthly time frame, we have a very nice rounding bottoming base here, and this spans for 4 straight years. Well, almost 4 years. Again, it's from 2021. It's not 4 years yet. It's over 3 years, but at this point, I can say 4 years. Okay, so Dutch Bros definitely something to be watching out for. If you guys have not looked at this name yet, I pointed it out back in 30s, below 30s, and mid 30s. So it's my bad for myself for selling out way too early on Bros. But hey, there's always a chance to buy higher and sell higher on these names, right? Especially these names that have really good strength across all the higher time frames, like the monthly, weekly, and daily, right? The RSIs are all above 60 here, which is amazing, right? That just simply states that prices are not overbought yet, but it's seeing some great demand and it's seeing some great relative strength, which can provide further upside momentum and price action. Okay? All right, so with that being said, I do want to go over one single ticker from this week's list, and that is ENPH. Okay, so this one did not fare too well today. Obviously, a very, very large bearish engulfing candlestick compared to last Friday. But then again, where did it open up? It opened up over 7%. Okay, or at least around 7%, or nearly 7% actually, and it hit a high of over 7% from Friday's close. So that's a huge move from Friday to Monday, right? So at the same time, was able to converge right at that daily 50 SMA, and as long as it's able to consolidate around this $48 level and $50, or maybe I can give it more room to 51. All right, I can foresee this one potentially moving sideways tightly above this $48 level, allowing the daily 10 and the daily 21 SMAs to curl up, right? And eventually it can break over 51 again, which means we can have a nice long-term entry point over $51. Or, right, we can use this opportunity for the price coming back down to the $48 level to get a nice early bounce entry at $48.30. Okay? And again, there's a lot of short interest, or at least short float percentage, or short interest percentage for a lot of solar stocks out there. They've been battered to the ground. And as I told you guys in the private CFO Discord many weeks ago, and many months ago too, that solar will become a huge mover, and they will provide us with very, very good mean reversion trades once we start to see the markets pricing in the potential for the Fed to finally begin their rate cuts. And as I've stated in the market summary a couple of weeks ago as well, if I remember, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or maybe a little bit more than that, but or I think I think this week's report too, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe last week. My memory is not serving me well here, but either way, right? The Feds will have to start cutting rates if we do see what I've said so far about the economy. If we do see that contraction to continue into quarter 3, and they'll be forced to cut rates to stimulate the economy from driving deeper and, you know, making a hole with economic contraction, right? And they need to kind of stop that slowdown in growth by cutting interest rates, which are still, I'll remind you guys again, at highs, right? The federal funds rate is still at highs, and we have not come back down to the levels that we've seen in 2020 and 2021. So, you know, the economic contraction would be a perfect time for the Feds to start cutting rates, which will allow a lot of small and mid-cap companies to really squeeze up higher, including solar stocks, which heavily rely on interest rates. Okay, I've talked a lot about this already with solar, so again, I don't really want to repeat everything as to the reasons why that is the case and why interest rates matter and the federal funds rate matter for solar stocks. So please, if you just want to do a quick Google search and get a quick summary as to the reasons why, go ahead. But I give you guys all the specific reasons why that is the case. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this stream's market summary here. If you guys really enjoy these live streams more than the technical analysis videos that usually comes with the report on Sunday night, please let me know, because again, last time that I did it, it seems like there was a lot more reception to it. So you know, if people aren't having the time to watch the report, watch the technical analysis video, and they can only read the report, then these live streams will most likely be a lot more helpful for you guys, since again, it is the next day, right? The actual trading day, and we can see how our individual trade ideas and even tickers from the list, like ENPH, have fared so far on this new trading day on Monday. Right, so if you guys want to see more of this, please let me know. I will most likely continue this if the reception continues to be consistent and if everyone has more time to watch the streams, and obviously if they really enjoy seeing more of the update from the trade ideas that were given a day before, right? So yeah, please take a look at Dutch Bros. Continue to look at it tomorrow. We're most likely going to continue this nice run up. Maybe a nice dip back down to retest 68.50, but right now we have a very nice gap and go moment here. We won't be seeing a gap fill anytime soon. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that with a lot of the names out there too, not just on Dutch Bros. But yeah, hopefully we can see that technical analysis pan out as well between 68.50 and 72.50 as well. All right. Well, that is it for me tonight, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this market review after hours. Please leave a like down below if you guys want to see more of this, especially for all the CFO Swinger Watch Report readers out there and all the private CFO Discord members too. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys are watching the replay to see whether or not, well, not to see, but if you want me to continue these streams after hours on Monday. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow when we will have our official first live stream, which again, we've been doing this for how long? We've been doing these streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, these regular streams, since I think like 2023 or 2022. But I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for joining. And don't forget, if you guys want to join the CFO Swinger Watch Report, just take a look at the link down below in the description box. Have a great rest of your night.